In 1999, Pixar released Toy Story 2, which was the direct sequel to the first movie, Toy Story, which was released in 1995. The story goes that after a bit of a mix-up in mayhem, Woody is accidentally quote-unquote doll-napped by a collector who intends to sell them. So it's up to the rest of Andy's toys to go out of their way, literally out of Andy's bedroom, into the world and save Woody from being sold to some place in Japan. It wasn't too similar to the first one, but it was similar enough that it could keep the charm, and at the same time distinguish its own charm. It was a bit different in the sense of characters though, because this time we don't have just Woody and Buzz, but we have the rest of Andy's toys. Of course, not all of them, and we do establish some more characters and stuff. So it was pretty interesting to see more of the toys sort of interact with each other, and of course making jokes about how they're toys and stuff. Again, it has something like the same issue towards abandonment, and it sort of plays something of a big role in this film. In the first film, Woody was sort of afraid that Andy would abandon him, and in the second film, it sort of touches that base again, seeing what if one day Andy were to abandon Woody and the rest of his toys? What would they do then? So it sort of plays out, and I know in the next movie of Toy Story, it sort of plays out a little more, and we sort of explore that concept. As far as the sequel goes, it's very good, and as far as the story goes, it's pretty interesting as well, especially seeing the toys interact and stuff. Personally, the nostalgic value for this film is very low. Toy Story was just amazing the first time I saw it, and every time I see it since, I still think it's a pretty fun and amazing movie. But with this film, I don't know what it is about it, but it just doesn't seem as memorable, or doesn't seem as loving as the first one did. I'm not quite sure, but I'm probably the only one who thinks so, because everyone else thinks it's just a huge success and it's a pretty amazing story, which it is, I'm not gonna lie. I do like it a lot again, but it's just not the same for me, and it just doesn't have the same feel as the first film. I know I shouldn't feel this way, but being Pixar and all, I was expecting it to sort of connect with me in the way that the first two films, A Bug's Life and Toy Story, did. But either way, it's still a good film. The voice acting is very creative. The new characters that it introduces are somewhat fresh and appealing in their own way, and definitely the sequel is worth checking out if you haven't done so already. But really, I'm not too interested in sequels. I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, I do like sequels, and I do like Toy Story, but I want to see what else Pixar can do. It's good that they're sort of cashing in on what people like. I like Toy Story, so why not make a sequel? Sure, they'll get money that way, but I also want to see what else Pixar can do, and Pixar will definitely deliver in the future, and that's next time.